Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration lawyer. We have offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. It's the end of the day here on Tuesday. This is the 336th episode of the Immigration Answers Show. We've gone live every single day since Thursday, and we are going to keep on trucking. Want to answer all of your questions that I can over the course of the next hour. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you that. If I think that you need more advice than we can give away here, I will tell you that too. Remember, everything that you say on the show is publicly available. Anyone can watch it. The State Department can watch it. USCIS can watch it. Anyone can watch it. So if you want to talk about a friend, or if you want to use a different name, that's always probably a good thing. And we repost this on all of our social media channels. So we're getting more and more people watching. We give you all those cautions and let you make the right decision. The waiting room is already full. If you're mad about that and weren't able to get in the waiting room, then you really should make sure to text the word show, SHOW, to 314-470-3300 so that you get updated whenever we go live. You'll get the link to the waiting room before everybody else. But here it is, 1 minute into the show, and the waiting room is already full. And it looks like Dara is there waiting. So let's go ahead and get started. Hello.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Great.
Thanks.
How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I have two questions for you regarding my case. My wife and I got married in April, and
April last year?
yes.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. We filed. It's actually the anniversary is coming up, which is funny. We filed in August, and our receipt date is 5th of August 2022.
Okay.
And I'm still waiting. I haven't received anything. I got an RFE for affidavit of support, and then we sent RFE within 1 month, which was September 20th. And we never heard back from immigration since then. I haven't even received my work visa. And I think I saw one of the episodes on Saturday that you mentioned to someone that your work visa should come somewhere from 1 to 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
And
but that's all delayed. You have to add time for the RFE. So if you receive a request for evidence, that's going to add more time, probably however long you had it times 2. So if they gave you, if it took you 3 weeks to reply, then add 6 weeks, something like that.
Okay.
What was your status at the time that you got married?
So I came to the U.S. about 10 years ago, over 10 years ago with B2 visa. We came with my family to visit my other family relatives. I ended up staying to continue my education. So I basically changed my status to F1.
Mm-hmm.
And I did OPT for a year. And then my OPT ran out on June 30th. Yeah, 2022.
So you've been in valid status all the way up until last June when you already had your green card case on file.
Correct.
Or did you I thought you filed your green card case in August.
Yes. So would that consider
So there's just a little window there where you're out of status. So the question is, at the time that you filed, were you in or out of status? And it sounds like you were in your grace period.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay. So that might add a little bit to what country are you from?
I was born and raised in Iran.
So that also is something that makes them go slower.
Oof.
Because they're racist.
Yeah.
So it should be soon, though. What field office will you have? If you have an interview, what field office will it be?
I think it would be Atlanta.
Have you or your spouse ever been married before?
No, this is our first time.
And did you give a lot of good evidence in support of the marriage when you filed?
I believe so. We had like a lot of photos, and beside the affidavit of support, we had almost everything. I did my medical before and sent them.
And what was the deal? You sent in no affidavit of support, or they didn't like the one that you sent?
So for affidavit of support, I guess my wife's income didn't satisfy
Mm-hmm.
them, which my lawyer said that that is absolutely BS because
Mm-hmm.
um, it would have satisfied them. But they wanted. We brought a family member, which is he's been supporting me for a while. So
So I think you're in good shape.
okay, I was just worried about the time. If like, uh, and I do have another question. Should I go ahead and ask you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, we have a wedding. One of my wife's dear friend is getting married in May, and uh, he lives in Oregon, and we live in Georgia. So I was wondering if I can travel with my passport. Would that
Yeah,
be
you'll
able?
be fine. Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Thanks for
everything.
calling, Dara. See you, bud. Good luck. Hopefully, you'll get that work card or your interview soon.
Thank you very much. I hope so
See
too.
ya. All right. All right. Mohammed's here. Hi, Mohammed. I can't hear you. You're not on mute, but I can't hear you. We'll come back, Mohammed. I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's talk to Yusuf. Hi, Yusuf. You're on mute, Yusuf. Hello, Yusuf. Zayek.
Hi Jim, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Can I close my camera if it's okay?
It is okay. What's going on?
Thank you. I just had a question. I actually had uh, a case before, and it was vacated, and I wanted to know if I will be able to apply for a green card through my wife or not.
Well, are you in the United States or you're outside the United
No, I'm
States?
outside. I'm outside.
And what kind of case did you have?
It was just I used someone's credit card.
And was that in a crime that happened in the United States or outside the United
Yeah,
States?
in the United States. Yeah.
So you came to the United States on a visit visa?
No, actually, I came from Mexico.
So you entered the United States without inspection?
Yes.
And then you got convicted of a crime?
Yes.
And what was the sentence for the crime?
I was not sentenced, actually. I was deported from the US. I never finished my sentencing. And then
What was
after
the
that,
what was the possible sentence? If you hadn't been deported, what would the sentence have been?
they give a suggestion of 30 days. And in 2022, I was able to finish my sentencing, or not finish my sentencing, get the quash the warrants and all of that stuff. And then I and then I took an attorney who took care of the case. So he got it vacated. He got
Yeah,
it
but
vacated.
USCIS doesn't consider a vacated sentence. They still consider that a sentence, so that doesn't matter for immigration purposes. I hope you didn't do that just because of immigration.
No, I didn't do it for immigration. I couldn't finish it because I was outside of the state, so I couldn't finish that warrant that I had, and also the case was not finished. And then the attorney was, try to speak to the judge, and the judge talked to the prosecutor. He said, "You guys should just vacate and dismiss this case because the guy is not here, and also it was unclear to me what happened that time."
And when did you when did you come to America?
2021. Sorry, 2001.
2001. And when did you leave?
2004.
And you did that you entered without inspection?
Yes.
Have you been back to the United States since 2004?
No, actually, I didn't. I was barred for 10 years.
Right. And
Yeah.
now you're married. Now you're married to a U.S. citizen.
Yes, I'm married to a citizen. I've been married for 19 years.
I mean, the charge doesn't sound too serious. The fact that it was 30 days or so. I mean, I have to look at it, but
the charge actually was attempted theft, first degree.
Okay, so that sounds a little more serious. How much money did they say that you tried to steal?
More than $1,500.
But less than 10,000?
Who is the you
Yes.
part? Eunice, you need to explain. You have to explain the vacation, the vacated
Yeah, it
merit.
was vacated on a merit basically. It was
But that
uh,
doesn't that does, I mean, we'd have to look at it. It might be something where USCIS doesn't, or the State Department doesn't look at it. But is your overall
mhm.
question, should I get started on this case with my spouse? The answer is yes. You should get started on this case with
I
your spouse.
I actually started already. I applied for the I-130.
Okay, so what's
Uh,
the question?
the question is, am I gonna have to do the waiver?
Maybe
Is it gonna be like a I-212 or 601 or?
601, probably. It depends what it is.
Mhm. So even if it was vacated and dismissed with prejudices, it would still, I have to do the waiver.
I don't know. I'd have to look at everything.
Hmm. Okay.
Under
And
which
how about the visiting visa? Do I need to do waiver for that, even if it was dismissed or
I
vacated?
don't I don't think they're going to give a visit visa to somebody who came to the United States without inspection, had a
Hmm.
crime, got deported, and
Hmm.
is now married to a U.S. citizen. There's lots of reasons why they wouldn't give you a visit visa. You might. I don't know why you'd waste your time on that. I would focus on trying to not antagonize the State Department, to only
Hmm.
to have all of your good juices flowing into the immigrant visa, and I would not mess around with a visit visa at this time.
Hmm. So basically, I just go ahead and finish the I-130, or I should just hire an attorney to finish all
Well,
the
the
whole
I-130 is on file.
process.
Is the I-130 on file?
Yes, I did it online last April.
A year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that when you get, that was sort of the easy part. That's just showing that you're free to marry, that your spouse is free to marry. The next part is probably when you really need lawyers.
Mm-hmm. So the embassy or the consulate will let me know if there is anything I have to do, like if I need a waiver or something.
Well, no, NVC won't tell you that. That'll all happen at the embassy.
Yes. So the embassy will tell me that if I need a waiver and which waiver
Mhm.
I will need.
Yep.
Mm. Okay. So you don't suggest me to do the non-immigrant visa.
Don't mess around with that.
Mm. Okay.
You're only going to get one shot at making that embassy happy, and I don't want you to waste that shot on a visit visa that's probably going to be denied simply because you're married to a U.S. citizen, plus all the other problems that you've had.
Mm-hmm. Even if it's like a long time ago, like in 2003.
Yeah, but you're married to a U.S. citizen. They don't give visit visas to people with pending I-130s.
Oh.
And they don't give visit visas to people who entered without inspection. And they don't give visit visas to people who committed a crime while they're here.
Okay. So I need. You think I need a waiver for the entry into the U.S.
I
without
don't know.
inspection?
I don't know.
Mm. Okay. Well, that was like I was barred for 10 years. So do I need a waiver after I stay outside of U.S. for 10 years?
Not for the unauthorized entry, no.
Okay. So basically, the only thing I need is the waiver for the crime, right?
Well, I think you should get a lawyer involved early on, because I think you need a lawyer to help you get ready to handle the National Visa Center, to help you
Mm-hmm.
get ready for your interview, and to
Okay.
help you. You're going to need a legal memorandum, a legal
Mm-hmm.
description analyzing exactly what happened with your crime and the
Mm-hmm.
vacation, and
Mm-hmm.
whether that makes you subject to the waiver. You want to bring that to the interview, because you don't want them to ask you for the waiver. You want to win before they ask for the waiver.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay.
Sitting around
Okay.
and just waiting to see if they make you do a waiver is a dumb approach, because you have the
Mm-hmm.
chance to cut that off before they ask for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I would just maybe call the office and try to get some consultation, or maybe
Yeah, I
speak
mean,
about this more.
your I-130 should get approved pretty soon. So yeah, I would say
Mm-hmm.
now's a good time to call the office. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, Ramadan Mubarak. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
James.
Yusuf.
Assalamu alaikum.
See you, buddy. All right, Jane's up next. What do you say, Jane?
Hi, Dream. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. So, my question is, if somebody comes to the US, you apply for asylum. Asylum is based on sexuality and it's pending. You get married to a US citizen, that's a man, and you get a green card. So, can you go back to your home country after you get the green card, or what's the process?
So this question comes up like once a week on the show. And the question is this. So my answer is this.
Okay.
When you filed for asylum, you signed a form, and it says that everything in there is true. And it
Yes.
says that you fear going back to your home country because you're going to be tortured or killed or persecuted. And then if you suddenly magically, it's safe for you to go back simply because you got married to a U.S. citizen and got a green card that way, then when you apply for citizenship, they're going to say you're a liar. You filed a bullshit asylum case just to be able to stay in the country, and that you weren't ever really scared, and that because you lied on your asylum application, we're not going to give you your citizenship. And oh, by the way, we're going to take away your green card for being a liar.
Oh.
Unless you can show that things have changed in your home country.
The asylum was based on sexuality, and this person married a man.
So are you saying that, you mean when you say sexuality, that they said they were gay and then now they're married?
Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, we've had that case approved. So we've had cases where someone applied for asylum saying they were gay, then married a U.S. citizen of the opposite sex and got that case approved. So are you trying to poke holes in somebody's case or something, or why are you asking?
I'm asking for a friend because she wanted to go back to her home country, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
she
no,
shouldn't. Tell her, don't go back to her home country till she becomes a U.S. citizen.
Oh, I see.
Because she swore that it wasn't safe for her to go back, and now she wants to go back just because she got a green card.
She wants to go visit, not to go like forever.
But she said that if she goes back, bad things are going to happen to her. Now she's magically got a green card, and now she's forgotten all about why she was so scared to go.
Okay. So another question is about the passport. Can she travel on the passport for the home country, or she has to get the refugee one? I don't know.
She should get the refugee travel document.
Okay. So traveling with the home country is not a good idea at all.
Nope.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye, Jane. See ya.
Bye.
All right, let's see if we can hear Muhammad. Muhammad, are you back?
Yes, how you doing, Mr. Jim?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
Ramadan Barak.
Same to you, my friend. How you doing? How's your fast?
That's good. I'm good, thank God. Just have a question. I received my green card 10 years and at 2020, and I divorced my wife in like in 2021. It's almost 1 year after I received my 10 years green card. Is any problem gonna come into me when I apply for citizenship after like
Probably.
5 years?
Probably. Let's back up. So tell me your whole immigration history. When did you come to the United States?
I came 2016.
What kind of a visa?
Student.
And did you graduate from school?
No, I just go to class English. After that be like 1 year, and it'll be offer to stay like 6 months.
So you were out of status. So you were out of status when you got married.
Yeah.
And what country are you from?
From Iraq.
So you're Arab?
Yeah.
And what about your spouse? What was their race?
Iraq. She's too Iraq.
Okay. And so what's the date of your marriage?
In the 2018.
And when did you file for your green card?
March 2018. Oh no, yeah. After I married, like 2 months.
Okay. And how was your interview?
It's good. It was in Chicago. It was nice.
Okay.
I just received my green card 10 years.
Okay, so first did you get a 2-year green card and then you got a 10-year green card?
No, just 10 years.
Okay, so what was the start date on your 10-year green card?
November 2020.
Okay, and then when did you file for divorce?
October 2022.
So 2 years after you got the green card.
No, I'm sorry, October 2021.
Okay.
After
If USCIS came and knocked on your ex-wife's door and said, "Hey, tell us about Muhammad. Is he a good guy? Should we let him stay? Should we let him get his citizenship?" What would she say?
I don't know.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Do you think she wrote a letter to USCIS saying Muhammad's a bad dude? He was out of status. Are you sure?
That's what I think.
How about this? What would her mother or father do? Would her mother or father send a letter to USCIS?
No, but we have like a sign from them about our marriage.
You have a what?
Like agreement with them, like when they say, "Oh, Omar, like Muhammad is nice guy," like that.
But that was before the divorce.
Yeah.
So let's say USCIS wants to keep you from getting your citizenship, then they're going to go knock on the door and say, "Hey, is Muhammad a bad guy or a good guy? Did he marry you for love or did he marry you for a green card?" What's she going to say? They're standing on her front door. They're knocking on her door and they say, "Hey, Nadia, what's up with Muhammad? Is he a good guy? Do we want to give him his citizenship or did he just marry you to get a green card? Should we deport him?" What would she say?
I don't know, but we don't have problem with that. Like we don't
Okay.
have with divorce, we don't have problem.
Okay. That's good. Then so the divorce wasn't real messy or anything?
No. Like I just contact her father, and he contact me, and we go to like the court, and we finish everything without lawyer, without.
Okay. So that's good. So yeah, I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be okay. You're going to have to explain why you got divorced. They're probably going to ask about why'd you file for divorce. Muhammad, you there? Muhammad's sort of frozen. All right, bud. Well, good luck, Muhammad. All right. Let's talk to Mehdi. Hi, Mehdi. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm okay. So my question, I think we talked a month ago about my situation. So I applied for a green card, I-485 and an EAD card based on approved I-140, which is the EP2, I think.
Okay.
So, but not concurrently. So I waited to get my approval for I-140, then filed for green card and also EAD card on December 22nd, 2022. And then did the biometrics actually on January 18th, 2023. So since I filed, it's been 3 months and 1 week, basically.
Okay.
So I'm a STEM OPT. I'm on STEM OPT, and I work for a company. And because my STEM OPT expires in 2 months, almost 2 months, on May 31st of this year, I talked to you and you advised me to apply for H-1B. And then the company, I had to work with companies' lawyers. And then we did that, but unfortunately, I did not get picked for H-1B lottery. So, I mean, whenever I rely on my chances, it really doesn't work out that much.
Yep.
So I just heard it yesterday because the results,
Came over the weekend.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I talked to my company and the lawyers, and they said, H-1B cap exempt. But the problem is that I have to satisfy the conditions for cap exempt. The one is that I have to work for a government organization. So my location should be government organization. Is that right?
Or
Like,
university. Or university.
Or a university. So the company that I work in, my physical work location, it's a company, even though my contract is with NOAA, which is a government organization.
Yeah.
But because of my situations that happened, the non-immigrant, and also the country that I'm from, I was not allowed to work on those locations. So I got hired through this company. So my physical location is not in NOAA.
Okay.
Is that like does that disqualify me for applying for H-1B cap exempt?
You're asking me, does the fact that you work for a private company keep you from filing for cap exempt? I think it does. Yes.
It's a non-profit organization. It works with government, And even I think even my contract is government contract. Like
Well,
it's
who's
a
telling you?
NOAA.
Who's telling you to file cap exempt?
Who's telling me?
Who
The
told you that?
lawyer.
Who told you that would
I,
work?
I just asked that what's my options, and then the lawyer advised me to file for to to go for cap exempt. But in my
With
contract,
this employer or some other employer?
with this employer.
Then why did they do cap subject in the first place?
That's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
fishy. Sounds fishy to me.
I don't know. What I know is that because I asked yesterday, what am I supposed to do now? What's my options? And they said that you can apply for cap exempt, but and then to send them my contract. My contract is a NOAA contract, but the physical work location
Yeah.
is. So the lawyer was asking me if it is possible to kind of give them something that okay, so my physical work location is NOAA.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done enough cap exempt work to know whether that plan would work or not. It sounds a little fishy to me.
Yeah.
Especially since so I don't know the answer to your question. I would,
Okay.
if I were you, I would ask the lawyers to put it in writing because I think that'll clarify whether this is something you can actually do. And I would ask them in an email, why didn't we do this the first time?
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that in the first time. So I have too much. So what is my options? Because I have my employment. I don't want to lose my employment.
Well, have you gotten your EAD yet from the?
No, it's pending. So it's been 3 months.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 months, and I just don't know when it's going. Is it possible? I'm thinking this is just. Is it possible to call USCIS and tell them, hey, I'm basically losing my employment if you don't approve my
but everybody and his brother calls and tells them the same thing. They don't really care. It's certainly worth a shot. It's certainly worth trying to get whatever influence you can if you want to talk to a member of Congress or whatever, but no one's going to get all worked up thinking about Medi's problem. So you can
absolutely
try.
not. I understand that totally.
Yeah, you can try, but I don't know. I don't think it's something you can count on.
Okay. So like direct call the USCIS, you don't, it's not much hope, basically.
No, not much hope.
Okay. So there's no other way to like convince them to expedite my case.
No.
Okay.
I mean, literally everybody's asking for that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, based on the ground that I am basically losing my employment, and this is the reason.
Throw it all in there. Tell them all of it, but just don't get your hopes up.
Okay. So how about like a local? So I'm in Virginia. How about like a local, I don't know, congressman or senator?
Try it.
Okay. Okay. Local like congressman or senator? Like
doesn't matter. I don't believe in that stuff.
Okay. So what you're saying is that there's basically it's up to them to whenever.
Yeah, I mean, keep calling them, keep bothering them, keep telling them what's going on, document it, send them letters, and tell them you're going to lose your job. But there's lots of people in line just like you.
Okay. All right. I think it's all.
Sorry, Mehdi. Wish there was more I could do.
No, thanks. It's not your fault. Thank you so much.
Bye, buddy. All right. Let's say hi to Neva. That was Mehdi. Hi, Neva.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. So my question is going to be about the 90-day rule before you file your I-130.
Oh, cool.
So I did just get proposed by my longtime boyfriend, but I don't want to marry before my parents' approval because, my mom and my sister are still back in my home country.
Yep.
We have this whole process of him getting approval from my parents and everything.
Sure.
So, the background is that I've been here for 5 years on an F1 visa because I did only just come to get my bachelor's and now my master's degree.
Okay.
So how does the 90-day thing work? for example, if I'm going home this summer, around May, and we're planning to come back and do it in his traditional way. And do I still have to wait 90 days before I file,
I think
even though I have been here like 5 years?
I think you don't ever want to get married within 60 days of arrival, no matter if you've come once a year on your F1. I don't think, if you've been here 5 years solid, I would say get married before you go overseas. But if you can't, when you come back, don't get married for the first 60 days. It's not 90 days you have to worry about, it's 60. So
Okay.
as long as you wait 60 days after you land in the United States, then everything should be okay.
Okay, so it's okay to file the other paper I-765 and then go abroad without triggering the government when I come back in the border.
Sorry, the camera shorted out for a minute. So you were asking me it's okay to file, and then I
And
missed you.
I-130 and then an I-765 and go abroad without triggering the government. Basically, because in the border, I heard that they might be suspicious. Like, since my primary goal was to get an education, would
Let's
that?
do this. Put immigration to the side.
Mhm.
What would you want to happen timing wise, step by step, between now and when you're fully married? Forget immigration and walk me through what you want to happen.
Actually, I do want my mom's side of approval. I want my entire family to meet the person I am
You're
going
going to
to.
go overseas with your fiance, have your fiance meet your family,
Mhm.
get their blessing. Then you want to come back to the United States all before you actually get legally married.
Yes, I think that would be the best way. But then at the
Okay.
same time, his mom wants us to do like a quick marriage through their tradition, nikah. So
Yeah.
I'm like a little bit still debating, but I feel like it's important to get my parents' approval too.
Sure. Okay. So nikah is sort of, I get the nikah, so I understand that. So, okay. So if you do anything marriage related before you go back to your home country, that's going to cause you that could cause you trouble later on. It could cause you if you got married here and went like did a quick nikah or got married and recorded it and went overseas, that would be a problem because then you're coming back on an F1, but also as the spouse of a U.S. citizen. So
Right,
that's not what you want to do.
right.
Um, if you go overseas and meet your family, then do that, get the blessing, then come back. Now, is your F1 expired?
No, I just started my master's degree, so I do have like a year and then like a year of OPT, so I do have time.
Right, on your I-20s, but the visa in your passport, is that old and expired or is it still current?
So I came here 4 years ago with my other F1, so it is gonna expire June of 2023. But then they said that it wouldn't matter because I got my new I-20.
It wouldn't matter until you leave the United States. If you leave the United States,
Mm,
then you have to go to the embassy and get a new stamp, and that's what I'm worried about. If they get wind of boyfriends, fiancés, marriages, then they might screw you and not give you a new visa stamp, which you would need to enter the United States, even if you have an updated I-20.
okay, I see. I didn't know that I needed an updated visa.
Yeah, that's why it's good. That's why it's good that you called. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is this the updated visa, is it something we can do from Chicago, which is where I am, or my home country?
No, you have to do it from home. As of
Okay.
right now, they're talking about a pilot program where you could do it in the United States, but as of right now, you can't. So, in summary, here's how I would think about it if I were you.
Mhm.
Okay? I would, by myself, without my fiance, I would go back to my home country and I would make a visa appointment and I'd get my visa stamp before my fiance gets to my home country. Then have him come to the home country, meet your parents, and do all that stuff. Then come back separately. Don't come together. And then go back to school. You're going to bring your updated I-20 to show them you're still in school. Then wait and let some time settle, a couple months, 3-4 months, but at least 60 days. Then get married with a nikah and do everything that way. And then get legally married and then file for your I-130 and everything else. That's how you should do it.
Okay. So even though I already have an updated I-120,
I-20.
I-20, sorry.
That's okay.
I-20 with a signature in the back.
Yeah.
Just
that means you can stay here. You could stay here all along. But if you have a 5-year visa from your home country to come to the United States and you come on your F1 and you go to 4 years of school, then you get OPT and then you get a STEM extension or whatever, at some point that visa stamp, the date on it is expired. If you go to Canada, if you go to Mexico, if you go to Venezuela, if you go to Colombia, if you go to your home country, then you're not going to be able to re-enter the United States until you go back to the embassy and get a stamp. And once a week, Neva, somebody calls this show and says, Jim, I just went home to see my mom and dad in India for a couple weeks. I thought it was going to be really easy for me to get a stamp in my passport, but they're being jerks and they won't give me a stamp. And now I've been stuck outside the United States back here in India for 6 months, even though I haven't updated I-20, even though I'm going back to school. That's what I'm trying to avoid for you.
I see. All right. Okay. All right. That was a lot. So
it was a lot. You probably want to watch this all again to make sure you got it all, but have your fiance watch it, have your family watch it so that everybody's on the same page. But I think that's your best plan of attack.
All right. I'm planning to come back before my visa expires, but it's kind of like a really couple of days before only. So I don't think it's a good idea, right?
Well, that's a better idea than coming back after it expired, but you can get trouble from them. I mean, you would have your updated I-20 and everything, but I would encourage you to get a stamp while you're gone, but that just opens up a whole other can of worms.
That's true. Just one last question about the income requirement for a spouse.
Okay.
So we're both just starting in our careers and stuff. So we're not we do not meet the requirements. We both don't meet the requirements. And so in that case, would you say I have a co-sponsor, or would you add his whole family to the application?
You'll need a co-sponsor.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Thank you so much for your time.
Bye, Neva. Good luck. Yep. See ya. I think we just helped Neva avoid some big mistakes right there. I think we did. All right. Silesh. What do you say, Silesh?
Hey, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Great sort of show so far.
Yeah.
So for me, for some context, so my wife has DACA, and I'm a Canadian citizen currently in the US. So what we've been wondering about is how do we kind of figure out a permanent path within the US, or maybe we leave the US and kind of come back. So the current plan that we have is to leave the country for her to be able to get permanent residency in Canada. The question then being is, would she be able to come back and visit family on a visitor visa in that time, or could she, after she gets citizenship in Canada, then come back to the country? Like, would that be a problem because of DACA?
Well, she might have a bar if she leaves the United States.
Yeah, so she's had DACA from before she was 18 and a half. So I think like 4 months after she turned 18, she got DACA.
4 months after she turned 18.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, but DACA is not authorized presence for purposes of the bar. So even though they're letting her stay here, she still has unlawful presence for purposes of the bar if she leaves.
Oh, so she would still have the bar regardless.
I believe so. I'd have to research this because I haven't been asked this question before. But I believe I would say this. That's something that should be nailed down before she leaves the United States.
Yeah.
My understanding is if you're here in the United States, deferred action is not any kind of status. Deferred action is just we're being nice and not deporting you. So as far as any clocks of unauthorized presence stopping when she got her DACA at the 4 months after she turned 18, if you're saying that means she only has 4 months of unlawful presence, I don't know that that's true.
Okay, that's good to know. That was, I think, part that we.
I don't know for sure. It's just what I think.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a fair point. Okay, so I guess but I guess say there wasn't a bar, would she have difficulty coming back to the U.S. after she, say, is a Canadian citizen?
If she didn't have the bar, she should be able to come and go as a Canadian citizen. Yeah.
Okay, it's good to know. And as a permanent resident, I'm assuming probably not, right? Because it would be based off of her citizenship.
That's right. She's still a citizen of country X.
All right, cool. I think that makes a lot of sense. Great. That's kind of all it. Maybe I'll reach back out in a paid consultation or something.
Thanks, Silesh. See you, buddy.
Thanks.
All right. We don't really do paid consultations. We just either talk to people who are hiring us or we don't. That's how that works. Hey, if you haven't already, let us know where you're watching from. We love to see and hear in the comments. I always go over the comments after the show to see what funny things people are saying, because there's usually something pretty funny in the comments. Alex is here. Alex, are you driving or not?
Driving. I'm stopped.
Okay, cool.
I'll turn my camera off though, because it's been spotty. So just don't want to lose you.
No worries. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for asking. I had a quick question. So I have a peculiar situation where essentially I was a derivative on my father's asylum case that was pending for a while, then went through interview, and now it's in removal proceedings. And I recently married a United States citizen. So from what I understand, the cases need to be separated, and then I need to file essentially I-130 and an I-485 through USCIS. I tried reaching out to your firm, but I don't think you guys specialize in removal proceedings, unfortunately. But I just wanted to see, I had a few questions regarding this one. So what exactly would you recommend I should look out for? And another question I had, if my court date happens before the I-130 is approved, is the judge able to approve it right there during the court or no?
Okay, so first of all, thanks for calling. I'm glad you called back. Who did you talk to in the office, Alex?
Daniel, I think, the intake specialist.
Daniel. Okay, and can you tell me the first initial of your last name?
Yes, it's Y.
Okay, because that's something that we could help with. We don't handle deportation, but we do handle sort of helping people clean up their deportation so that they can adjust status.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah, well, I was wondering because it's technically it's a peculiar situation, but yeah,
but
the intake specialist let me know that you guys just don't do removal proceedings. So I was hoping.
Yeah. And when did you call, Alex? Do you remember how long ago?
I spoke with him today, actually, 11:30.
Okay,
Eastern
cool.
time.
I'm sure Daniel's watching. I'll talk to him. We'll find you and I'll reach out to you. But let's walk through it. Okay. So, how old are you?
25.
And when is the court date?
So my dad has a court date scheduled for May 30th, but the cases have not been separated yet, and we already have, my spouse and I have already filed an I-130 and it's pending.
Good. And which immigration court?
It's Annandale in Virginia.
Okay. And so the I-130 is on file. The motion to sever hasn't happened.
Has not yet happened, no.
How come?
I'm honestly in the process of hiring a lawyer right now.
I got
That's
you.
why
So only USCIS can approve the I-130. The judge can't approve the I-130. So what you need is you need a lawyer to enter their appearance, to file the motion for severance, and then to file perhaps a motion to terminate, or at least a motion to extend your, we want to separate out your case. We want to get you a new court date. We want to buy time for the I-130 to get approved. Yes. And then once the I-130 is approved, then we can ask the court to terminate proceedings so as to allow you to adjust at USCIS. So it's not just the severance, it's also severance plus termination with an approved I-130, then 485.
Yeah, it's a termination, or I guess sometimes the adjustment can happen at the court if I get an individual hearing scheduled.
Yeah, but most judges don't want to do that.
I gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, sure, that's always a nice option too. One question: when you came as a kid, did you come on a visa or did you enter without inspection?
Visa, yeah, it was inspection. It was a visitor visa.
And you all have proof of that?
Yes.
Good. Yeah. Okay, so the best time to file the motion to sever was yesterday. The next best time is tomorrow. So I'll reach out to Daniel, and then we'll reach out to you tomorrow.
Okay, that would be wonderful. Yeah, because I've just basically narrowing down to the lawyers, and yeah, I was really hoping to actually hire your firm and hoping to have you guys help me out with that. So I'd appreciate
that's great, Alex. Okay, cool. We'll follow up first thing tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. I'll talk to you. Thank you so much, Jim.
Bye, buddy. See you.
Bye.
All right, somebody's claiming that Jim is the best, so of course you've got to bring him on camera. What's up, Jim is the best?
Hey, how's it going, Jim?
Good. How you doing?
I'm fine. So I was in removal proceeding, and my removal proceeding got terminated, and I'm adjudicating my case with USCIS.
Great.
So instead of my attorney filing a new I-45 with USCIS, he said that he's transferring.
Oh, we lost him. We lost Jim is the best. We'll have to see if he pops back in. If he does, I'll call him up. Mr. Weird Boss says, I live for Jim Hacking Show, and I think if you watch too much of Jim Hacking Show, that's the kind of face you end up having, like Mr. Weird Boss. So we appreciate the love. We appreciate everybody watching. Francis is watching in Ghana. We appreciate that. We love everybody watching the show. All right, let's see what Allie says. Hi, Allie.
Hey, Jim, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Okay, great. So I have two questions. One, so my sister, she wants to file for my dad, which is her stepdad. But uh, my mom and my dad was not married, but they are common law. Is it possible? And my sister lived with my dad, since she was 3 years old. So they've been together. My mom and dad have been together for many years.
Okay.
Can she file for him, being that the parents weren't married, but they were common law and it's recognized in the country?
So this is talking about your sister? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, my sister. She's a U.S. citizen.
Your sister has a mom and dad, and your sister's a U.S. citizen.
Right.
Is your dad on the birth certificate?
No.
Is there any
No,
proof
it's
that
not.
is there any proof that your dad and your sister had a relate? I mean, obviously your mom, you're not worried about mom, you're worried about dad, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. So what proof do we have that dad was involved in part of sister's life as a young person?
I mean, she had, she grew up there, so she had like school documents and stuff. It had the address that they were living in because my dad is still living at the address.
Okay. So the answer is yes. You're gonna have to prove it up. I mean, is dad's overseas, I assume?
No. He's still back home.
That's what I'm saying. Sorry, I'm not making sense. Dad is not in the United States. Dad's back in the home
No.
country.
Right.
Okay. So sister would file an I-130 for mom and I-130 for dad.
Uh-huh.
They might have to do a DNA test later on to prove it up if there's not enough evidence. But if there's lots of evidence that he's her father, including affidavits from your mother and her family and other people who know that he's the father, but also proof that he's supported your sister, that he was on the school records or the medical records, or there's lots of ways to prove it, but it's not going to be a typical I-130 case. It's going to be a hard I-130 case.
But he's not her biological dad, though.
Oh, he's not. Oh, I thought he was. Oh.
No.
Did he
He's
ever
her
adopt her?
stepdad.
Did he ever adopt her?
No, there was no adoption or anything. No.
So then what needs to happen is she needs to apply for mom, get mom a green card, then have mom come over, get the green card, get her green card, and then apply for her. Well, she'd have to get married, because if they're not married, then she can't convey anything to him. So they would need to get married, and they could do that anytime. And then mom gets a green card, and then mom applies for dad. It's going to take longer, but mom can get her green card and then apply for a reentry permit, and that allows her to stay outside the United States for 2 years while her husband's case is pending, and then they can come together when dad's or the stepdad's case is approved.
Okay, so you basically saying that she won't be able to file for my dad. My mom would have to do that.
And they'd have to be married.
Okay. All right. Next question. I know you answered it a while ago based on a question that was asked earlier about expediting a work permit. But what do you think? I've been waiting. So I filed an I-130 almost 2 years now, June of 2021, and I haven't gotten a approval. As
From
yet?
USCIS? From USCIS?
Yes. Right.
For a spouse?
Yes.
You filed an I-130 2 years ago and they still haven't approved it?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Where's your spouse?
So that's the thing. We are technically separated, but not divorced. And technically there's a problem between us. So I don't know where he is.
So what do you want to know from me?
So what I was asking, I am in the midst of doing a VAWA, but then because I have an I-485 pending, can I do I need to wait do I need to wait until I get the work permit first before I go ahead and file VAWA? Because
so I'm really sorry because I'm fasting, so I'm a little bit lightheaded and I missed it. So I didn't understand.
Okay.
So you're actually the I-130 applicant based on marriage to a U.S. citizen. That U.S. citizen has now abandoned you, and
Right.
you want to convert your case from a I-130 to an I-360 with the 485 that you have on file.
Right.
How much marital
Exactly.
evidence did you submit in support of the application?
At the time we didn't have much.
But how about
We didn't
right
have
now?
much.
How about right now?
We still didn't because my husband, he wasn't working, so there wasn't much that we had. I know we had bank account together. We had a life insurance together. Also we had phone bills together. Where we were living, it's my sister's house, so we didn't have like a lease or anything together. So that's the most concrete thing that we have.
Did your sister live there too?
Yes.
And how long? So you've been legal. The case has been on file for 2 years. How long have you been legally married, and when did you stop living together?
We stopped living together after a year and a half because June is going to be 2 years since we've been married.
And I'm sorry that this is there. Do you have significant evidence of the abuse for the VAWA claim?
I don't. I have physical evidence. Yes, I do. I also have a police report.
Okay. So in answer to your question, first of all, I'm sorry that you're going through that. I'm sorry that that happened with your husband. Were you out of status when you got married?
No, I was not. I came here June. Sorry, January, January, February, March. I think it was March 8th, 2021, and we got married on May 27th.
Okay. Okay. So in answer to your question, yeah, you can convert it now. You can file the 360 now. You probably should. You're probably going to need some help because it's going to be a tough case. If you had a thin I-130 case, that makes it harder, and then you're going to need to prove up the VAWA aspect, the violence part. So we'd be happy to help you, but I think it's going to be a tough case. What country are you from?
Jamaica.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you going to ask me?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what if I get a call before the VAWA petition goes through? Like, get a call before for the interview.
That's a great question. You mean if you get an interview notice, I would. And do you think he's said bad things about you to immigration?
I think he has the potential to. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I were you, I would drop everything and get that 360 on file as fast as I can. And I would make that my number one priority. If you get an interview notice, it's going to be 5 or 6 weeks from when you get the notice. So focus on getting that 360 on file. If you do get an interview notice, show up and tell them what's going on. Show them that hopefully you'll have a 360 receipt notice and then go from there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Allie. All right. Jim the Best is back.
All right. Hey, sorry about that.
Your phone dropped or something.
Yeah, my phone died. So my sister paid the bond for me to get out of the removal proceeding. I live in Maryland, and she reside in Miami. So they told me that I have to come in for an I-340 interview. It says the obligor has to deliver the alien. So I'm no longer in removal proceeding. My I-130 is pending, and I have
Who said you're no longer in removal proceedings?
the judge. I have a copy of the judge terminating my.
So you get out on bond, and then later your proceedings get terminated because you have an I-130.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So,
So
ICE wants you to show up in Miami or in Maryland.
Miami. My sister resides in Miami.
Yeah. Is that where she paid the bond?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably got to go down there and help her get her bond money back.
So what's gonna happen when I go there? Can I go there safely without an attorney? I mean, like, I don't want to go there and then.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you have an approved I-130 and proceedings have been terminated, you got documentation of all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just bring it with you. You should be fine. I mean, I might bring a lawyer just because I'd be nervous.
Yeah, because like I'm just like I don't want them to just send me to the plane and I just pop up there.
Yeah, they're not going to, but I understand the fear. I know a good guy down in Miami. If you want to email us, I can tell you his name.
Okay, now one more thing, Jim. So I went to my attorney. He, instead of him filing a new I-45, I never heard such a thing, but he said that he is transferring the EOIR I-45 to USCIS. Now,
It's possible. It's tricky. It's hard to get them to pay attention to that. It's hard to actually get the transfer to occur, but it's certainly worth a shot if that's something your attorney has done before. I'm not against it.
I mean, and I went to the info pass, and the officer at the glass table told me he's gonna send a request for evidence for my medical, and like I'm wondering, like,
well, that's good. Then that means he probably's got the 485. He wouldn't send the request for evidence if he didn't have the 485.
No, he haven't sent it yet, but he said he's going to. So I haven't even received any kind of update on the case tracker. So, like, is the case tracker still going to follow up with everything, or they just have like an internal update on their end where
the case tracker for the 45 isn't going to show you anything because it was originally filed with EOIR.
Oh, okay. So at this point, I just got to wait for the I-45 request for evidence for the medical and go from there. Because
sounds like you're in good shape though.
It seems like, but I just don't want to wait another 2-3 years for a medical to come in the mail.
Yeah, well, you probably won't.
Okay. Because I just now sent one more thing, because I know you got to go, but I just now sent all the I-130 approval, the judge order. I sent a cover letter, and also I sent EOIR receipt to the Texas Service Center. I don't know if that's going to help with anything.
Nah, they'll do it when they feel like it. They're the worst.
Wow. So what's the best thing for me to do at this point?
Chill.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jim.
See you, buddy. Good luck. All right. We got time for one more. Let's say hi to Mike. What do you say, Mike? I can't hear you, Mike. Ah, rats. Can't hear Mike. It's not the mute button. It's something else. All right, everybody. We'll have to talk to Mike tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock Central Time, Wednesday, 4 o'clock Central. It'll be our 7th show in a row. Thank you all for joining us. Hoolie's trying to tell me something. What are you trying to tell me, Hoolie? 4 o'clock tomorrow. We're good? No? Hold on. What's up? We're good?
Good. We're good. I have back signal today, so
okay. No worries. Oh, look, Shabazz is here. Hello, Shabazz. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Jim. Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Kareem. Call me back tomorrow, okay? I'll see you tomorrow.
Jim, I have 1 minute only. One question, please.
I would expect nothing else, Shabazz. What's up?
Jim, actually, I told you my attorney, he applied for me the PD, structural destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So I call Department of Homeland Security on Friday, and I talked. What?
Don't do that. Don't call Homeland Security. You mean you called the attorney who you asked prosecutorial discretion from?
No, I called the DD attorney.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I had. It's funny. I have a client who's just about to naturalize. Back in the day, he was in deportation, and he had his kids send a letter to the DHS attorney saying, "Why are you trying to deport our dad?" And he was so pissed. He said he was never going to talk to me again. The attorney. Don't let your attorney do the talking. You got an attorney.
No. I just called them and I told them my attorney, he want to talk to you. Then I transfer the call.
You are one of a kind, Shabazz. Okay, so what happened? So
okay, listen. Hold on, I will tell you. I called them. I told them that, sir, I have a pending PD. So what is the status? They told me that we will tell you one email address. So we will tell you an attorney. I told him, sir, can you please hold? And then I call my attorney, and then I transfer the call, and then my attorney, he talked to the DD attorney, and he told him one email address. He told him that you can send a reminder, then we will process the PD. And then my attorney, he talked to the DD attorney, and then he was saying that okay, and you send this request, and then we will work on it. That's it.
And nothing's happened since.
Then after that, I called today for follow-up, but they don't answer.
Yeah, they're not. They're on to you. They've blocked your number now. They're not going to answer next time Shabazz calls.
Oh, so sir, actually, I'm not in hurry. I just want to learn the process and procedure. That why my some of my friends they was having worse situation than me. But
every case, Shabazz, I told you, every case is different, buddy. And they'll get to it when they get to it. You just got to chill. That's the process. You just got to chill. You have a complicated case.
Okay, so sir, now for PD, how much time they are taking process normally?
Which field office or which DHS office?
It's in Houston.
Yeah, dude, they're super busy. They got to deal with all those people from the border. It's low on the list of people. PD's low on their list, so you got to keep sending letters. Have your lawyer keep sending letters, but don't call them again. You could really make them mad.
Okay, my attorney, he can talk to them, right?
Yeah.
But sir, my attorney, once he took the money, he's not answering my calls.
Well, I suspect you're probably calling him a lot, huh, Shabazz?
Sir, actually, the thing is, I don't want to do everything this, but my baby, he's not understanding now. He's out of control. He's taking the things here and there in back home.
I'd say maybe call your attorney once a week. That's it. All right,
okay.
I gotta go, buddy. I gotta go.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Ramadan Kareem. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. See ya. All right. Well, everybody's happy when Shabazz comes back. Nobody can believe Shabazz called the DHS counsel. Wallahi, I've only had it happen once in my whole life, and I've never had a government attorney that mad at me. And now he's a judge. Now he's a deportation judge. Of course he is. All right. Well, we're good to see Shabazz. We're always happy to see him. Happy to see Huli. We'll be back, like I said, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central. Thanks, everybody.